So I wanted to make a video about something else. I want to try to make like at least one video a week, typically on Sundays. And today I didn't really have any ideas about what I wanted to make a video about, but I do now. I just went to the park just to go for a stroll, just to like, get outside, go for a walk, touch grass, whatever. And another realization hit me that's very brutal and depressing, and it's that when you're a single guy past a certain age, you're looked at like you're automatically a creep, like you're automatically a weirdo. Something's automatically wrong with you, and people should avoid you and be cautious about you. So I just go to the park just to go for a walk and just like get outside, get some sun, like I already said, right? And there's families and stuff out there. Like most people out there, like a husband and wife with their kids and stuff like that. And this is when it gets really brutal. I'm 30, so I'm just like a grown man out there by myself. Probably doesn't help that I'm dressed in all black, but regardless though, I would at least feel like I should be at least like given baseline respect, baseline like, oh, it's just a dude, until proven otherwise, until like, okay, I show that I'm a weirdo, I show that I'm a creep, or I show something's off about me. But I'm just out there minding my own business, going for a walk. It's like on the water, it's riverfront, and there's like mansions out there, and it's just really nice water. Looks great out there. The game is going on right now downtown, and you can see the stadium, the Jags versus the Bills. I don't care about that, but yeah, so as I'm walking down the sidewalk, there's like a guy with his wife and kids, and they're coming my direction. And like they see me, and they kind of just sit there for a second, kind of looking at me, and eventually the husband just grabs up the kids, and then he just jolts across the other side of the street to the other sidewalk. And I'm just like, I mean, I could think about that in a few different ways, like, oh, he didn't mean it like that, or like, oh, it's not about me being weird or anything, he just wanted to get out of my way. I could say that, but I can already tell, and I know how men like me are looked at, like dudes who are like a little bit older and they're alone, like they're by themselves. We're seen as like weirdos, like, oh, why isn't he not with his wife or girlfriend or like kids and stuff? Like, why is this like grown ass dude out here by himself at the park with all these kids around and stuff? Oh man, something ain't right about that. I can see that. It's pretty obvious that's kind of what it is. And it's just very disheartening and very depressing. It's like when you're a single man past a certain age, life gets really weird. The way people treat you and the way people like immediately look at you is like very bizarre. Like when people find out like at work or like school or whatever you do, whatever, that you're single and you're like past a certain age, like 25, 30, they really go, oh, they think it's weird. A lot of people think that's weird. For obvious reasons. I don't even want to get into it, but you're seen as like a freaking creep, like a weirdo, a freak. And people will try to say, like, if they were to hear me say this stuff, they'll try to say like, oh, it's not that, it's all in your head. It's really not though. It's really not. Actually, it's pretty common for people to rally against single older dudes. It's very common because obviously if you're gonna be a creep, if you're gonna be a weirdo, you're probably gonna be an older single guy. You're not gonna be like a married woman, right? A married woman isn't typically gonna be like a creep or a weirdo. A married guy can be, but usually not always, right? He's just a dad, he's a family guy. People trust him. The dude who's gonna be like some weirdo is gonna be like a guy like me, like a single guy, 30 plus, like, he doesn't have a wife. Oh, he doesn't have kids. Oh, wow. Most men his age, have at least a girlfriend or at least a kid by then. Why doesn't he have that? And you're looked at really weird. And, especially when you go to places that are like family friendly and there's lots of, kids and stuff there, it just gets fucking weird. It just gets fucking weird. And I really wish that wasn't the stigma that's immediately placed on me. And it hurts. It really hurts. I mean, I'm going through a lot. And it's not me specifically that's going through a lot. It's men that are my age and in my position that are going through a lot. If you're anything like me, we're all going through a lot. By that I mean most of us are getting worked to death 5 days a week. That's a topic I want to talk about that really pisses me off. I'll touch on it just lightly here, and I'll say that 5 days a week, working 5 days a week, is total and utter slavery. 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday off, is not enough time to recover and like refresh and be your baseline self, be your like healthy self. 2 days a week is not enough. Saturday is a day where I sleep in. I wake up later in the day. Before I know it, the day is over just like that. Sunday is me scrambling and rushing to get things done that I couldn't get done on Saturday or the week when I was working, when everybody else was working. And I'm trying to like, you know, get some stuff done real quick on Sunday to make up for the rest of the week. All while being scared or, you know, anxious about the work week ahead of me, because now it's just going to be another long ass dragged out week of me just slaving away, busting my ass. It's really crazy that we live in a society where 80% or more of our week is stolen from us, and people will try to say, oh well, if you look at the math, technically you have 12 hours when you get home from work. You really don't. I already did the math. When I get home, I have about 4 to 6 hours somewhere in there of time to do what I need to do. That's not time where I can just relax and do whatever I want. That's time I have to be cooking, cleaning, chores, errands, all that stuff. That is not time for you to recover. That's not time for you to do your passions or anything like that. So you really get like no time at all. And that's 6 hours if I were to get exactly 8 hours of sleep. I need more than that personally. I need like 10 hours a day. I don't even get that. But back to being a single guy. A lot of people just wouldn't understand. If you're a female, you wouldn't understand, because most females aren't going to be looked at as weirdos or creeps. Never. As a female, there's nothing you can do to be looked at as if you're a creep or a weirdo. The train in the background, sorry about that, but there's nothing you can do as a female to be seen as a creep or a weirdo. It's completely relegated to men only. And it's really sad, because most dudes out here, in my position especially, are decent people. And I wouldn't say good, but decent people, normal people, not on some weirdo shit. Nowadays, it's worse than ever. There are so many more single men today than there, I guess, ever have been in history. I mean, if you look at the data, if you've been online and know anything about the male loneliness epidemic, it's a real thing. I'm trying not to cuss as much. It is a real thing, especially, I guess, for younger men. I don't know why exactly. I mean, there's a lot of theories, and I believe a lot of them. I think it's just really bad for young men out here, or like any man. When you're single, it's like you're kind of just looked at like, okay, something's wrong with him. Like, why does he not have a girl? Why does he not have kids? Like, what could be going on that he's single? And people really don't want to talk about the brutal part, which is like a lot of dudes are just kind of not that good looking, kind of chopped. I've already talked about this in my last video, and it's true. You know, if you're like a chubby guy or fat guy, bald guy, things that are out of your control, maybe not being fat, but being bald, being short, short and bald men, but especially short men and bald men, I guess, equally get railed in life. They get destroyed. I mean, they go through, I mean, I'm tall. I'm like 6'2", 6'3" in shoes-ish. Not to brag, but thank God. And I have my hair too, so, but I have seen short men get absolutely blasted at the workplace countless times, where dudes will just make fun of their height just because. Midget jokes, any short joke you can think of, just completely fucking zero respect, and everyone laughs at it like it's totally okay. I think that shit's fucked up. Normal people, I want to say normies, but I don't want to out myself as kind of like a weirdo. Maybe I'm giving out too much information, but normies, dude, normies are ruthless. I'm somebody who I would never make some fun of someone for something that they have no control over. Normies are ruthless. Last week on Friday at work, hypothetically, everything I'm talking about is fake. Everything I'm talking about is just made up. None of this is real. Last week at work, allegedly, fakely, whatever, they were talking about this guy who works at the job. He's like IT or something like that, and they were making fun of him because he has like a cock eye, like his eyes are, you know, any which way. And they were just roasting this guy. And he's a sweet guy. He doesn't deserve that. I would never make fun of that guy for that. Like, can you imagine like how he must feel going through his entire life just getting completely made fun of everywhere he goes? That's the society we live in, and people want to act like I'm over exaggerating anything I've been through or like anything that anyone else has been through. In reality, life is just harsh. It's brutal, and nobody wants to own up to it. They always want to use excuses or gaslight and say, oh, you're not ugly, or oh, nobody's making fun of you, it's all in your head. It's all gaslighting. It really is, whether it's intentional or not. But yeah, if you're kind of chopped like me, see, these videos don't show it. These videos really don't show how chopped I am. What sparked my first video was, obviously I was at the cemetery, and I wanted to take a video, or I wanted to take a picture, a selfie, because it was beautiful out there. I loved all the flowers on the graves and everything. It was really beautiful. And I wanted to take a selfie with me and all this stuff in the background. When I opened the phone, I saw my face, and I was just like completely shocked. Just like it's, to me, every time I see my face that's not in the mirror where it looks better, or like a video like this where it looks better than it actually is, every time I see my face in a reflection out and about, or like I go to take a selfie, like, hey, I'm feeling myself, like, hey, maybe I'm not really that bad looking like everyone likes to say, right? And then I go to take a selfie, and I just look fucking not like I'm used to seeing, and it destroys me. Every time I see it, it crushes me. And it makes me withdraw, and it makes me depressed, and it makes me just give up, you know? I go back to just being a robot, doing my 9-to-5 bullshit, and fucking just giving up on everything, giving up on my passions, and just scrolling, because that's the easiest dopamine and happiness that I can get out of life. Because dudes who have, guys that look good, they can go out and do anything, and people will, you know, accept them for who they are. They don't really have any flaws or anything that people can point to. They are not really a person that will get pushed away. There's somebody who will be included, and they don't really have to deal with the shit that I have to deal with, and many other men have to deal with. It's not just about me. Or if you look normal and you're out and about, especially if you have social proof, like if you're with a girl, your girlfriend or wife or whatever, people are automatically going to think, oh, he's not a bad guy. He can't be. He has a wife, you know. That's it's like a verification that you're actually a decent guy, and you're somebody who can be trusted at least. When you're single and you're out by yourself, when you're a little older, you're like a grown man, you're not somebody who can be trusted off rip. You have to prove that you can be trusted if there's ever an opportunity for you to do so. When you're out and about, and you're just like, you know, going for a walk or going wherever, and there's kids and stuff out there and families out there, boy, I'm telling you what, you are suspect number one. Everybody's watching you. Everybody's got their eye on you. They're making sure you're not looking at the kids. They're making sure that you're not coming towards anybody. Like, I'm telling you, that's just what it is. And you can fucking say it's not, it is. As a single man, older single man, life is very hard. And there's videos and stuff out there about it. You know, people say, I think it was, what was his name? Oh, I forgot his name, but he used to talk about it. He used to say, you know, if you're single in like the workforce or like in business, people look at that really weird. Like if you're an older middle-aged guy and you're single, they find that really suspect. And so it's harder for them to close deals and stuff like that. But I don't know how true that is. It probably is fucking true. So it's hard enough being chopped, and then on top of that, you're single, so you have no social proof. You have no verification that you're a decent person. So immediately, I mean, you have a lot of factors that compound and like make your life a lot worse, and it gets bad. If you're not a guy, you don't know anything about this. If you're a guy with, a wife and kids, and you've never really had trouble talking to people and being with people, then you don't really know what I'm talking about, probably. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on in life right now. It's never just one thing. Like, if it was just my looks that I was tripping about, I don't think my life would feel as bad as it does. I think a huge part of my depression, or like my self-image and just everything, is accelerated or like enhanced by the fact that I work 5 days a week, and it's just too much. And I feel like a slave. I don't feel like I get enough time to myself. If I had tomorrow off, like Mondays off, Saturday through Monday off, I would be a much happier person, and I probably wouldn't be so hard on myself. I probably wouldn't care so much about my appearance as I do now, or I probably wouldn't be so like dejected in life. But when you add in the slavery, the 5 days a week grind, it just makes things worse. It makes you a more on edge person, a more angry person. You're quicker to get mad. I think that's what a lot of road rage is from. When you see people raging out in the road, I think it's because they're just so like energized in a negative way by their lifestyle of working so much, and they just lose it real quick. They're on edge. They just snap just like that. I think that's a really bad thing for society. I hope we move towards a better work-life balance for society as a whole. 4 days a week would be much better. And then you get 3 days off, hopefully in a row, and it would just ease you out. But I can't really think of too much to say. I'm sure there's a lot of things I could say about being a single man and being how you get looked at. But just to keep it short and sweet, I guess that's pretty much it.